When I'm out driving with Panthro in the Thunder Tank, we like to listen to the Old Skool Movements podcast. Thundercats, ho!
You are listening to the Old Skool Movement podcast with Daz, Chris, and Steve. You understand?
Hello, everyone. We're here with another episode of the Old Skool Movement podcast. How you guys doing? You guys all right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a minute, isn't it?
We're good. Yeah, man. It's always good. It's always good to have this, this gathering again to chat about what we love about the 80s. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this episode will feature a bunch. We might make a series out of this, but there's loads to go through, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? So, Chris, do you want to introduce what we're going to be talking about today, then?
No, we're going to be talking about how are we going to word this one, man? To me, it's like the 80s kick-ass women that we liked watching, or that were big in the 80s, in the movies and TV, whatever, mainly in the movies. But I don't know how else we're going to put it, but 80s kick-ass women.
It's a thing where, like, growing up, like now, society is really trying to push like the female narrative in movies and TVs and so
like
it's something
everything.
New. Yeah, like it's something
like
they
it's
need
something
to
new.
do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you had Ray in the last 3 Star Wars movies. Now Teela's taking care of things in He-Man. You've got Captain Marvel, But this isn't anything new, and we've always had kick-ass females growing up on TV. You know, Wonder Woman, Bionic Woman, Foxy Brown, Red Sonja, just to name a few.
Yeah.
But we're going to go through 4. Cagney and Lacey. You know, we can go on.
Jill Gascoigne.
The gentle touch.
Juliet Bravo. It was only recently.
Juliet Bravo.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I found out recently that weren't the woman's name. I thought that was the woman's name in the thing.
Well, that's her real name, isn't it?
Her name was like Jean Barbie or something. Was the character's name? I thought it was. I thought it was Juliet Bravo. It was just the name of the show.
Yes. Oh,
I didn't know
you know
that.
What? Yes. I didn't know that either. I thought that was her name as well.
That's her name.
Yeah. No, I tell you. Yeah. No, you're right. But you know what? I didn't watch Juliet Bravo.
No, I didn't watch it.
I watched a bit. I used to watch it a bit.
I didn't watch it. Nah. Occasionally the Gentle Touch, but I wouldn't watch Juliet
Gentle
Bravo.
Touch, Bionic Woman, Wonder Woman.
Bionic Woman. These are all big
Cagney
female lead characters we had on
big
TV. Cagney
female
and Lacey,
leads.
Blanche, Rose, Dorothy, and Sophia, the Golden Girls. You know, there was women.
Murder, She Wrote. Do you know what I mean?
What was her name? Murder, She Wrote woman.
I don't know. Angela Lansbury was a real name, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's probably what I'm thinking of, actually, Angela Lansbury.
Yeah.
Murder, She Wrote.
But Murder, She Wrote, man. There was some programs there. There was strong female characters all through the 80s.
There was loads of great female characters growing up. Maybe it died off. I don't know. Did it die off in the noughties, maybe, or?
No, I don't know.
Like you said, the 90s were good.
Stopped watching films in the noughties, really.
It must have been a decade that we missed all this.
You know what I mean? And everybody, when it comes to martial arts in the 80s, everybody knew Cynthia Rothrock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was the action lady. Do you know what I mean?
Big fighter as well.
Yeah. Big fighter.
Yeah. And even Kelly out of breakdance. You know, we spoke to Turbo in one of our older podcasts. Yeah. Kelly done like a ninja film. She was the main character in that.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. So back in them days, a lot of the female heroes are called heroines, and that's not a title that's really about these days anymore, is it?
Don't hear it as much.
It's a bit druggy, isn't it?
It sounds it. Is it something to do with the don't like being called an actress, want to be an actor, or
actor now?
Female heroes or heroine? I don't hear heroines no more. Maybe it is.
Hey.
It does sound like that.
It does sound a bit druggy.
I don't mind what the title is, as long as they kick ass. It's all good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you think of 80s horror films, you think of like the female running, being scared in her pants, and then getting murdered, and being a damsel in distress, and the man saves her and gets rid of the baddie. But if you really look at most classic horror films, it's the female who survives. It's the female who deals with the situation. It's the female who outwits these bad guys, like Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween. You know, there's a Halloween this year out, and she's still there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Still
You know,
surviving.
you've got the girl from the first Friday the 13th movie, and you know the list continues. But this lady beats them all because she had to face the most scariest dude, you know, in horror in the 80s with his razor glove and his sweater and his hat coming into your dreams, and she just got rid of the dude.
Sweater.
You know what I mean? Scary, dirty sweater. And she just dealt with him.
You
know
know,
what I mean?
to bring him
You
out
know,
of her dreams. Didn't she bring him
Yeah.
out of her dreams into the real world?
Yeah, and like, because remember, Freddy was so scary because it was so relatable because everybody goes to sleep.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like another horror way. Not everybody goes to lakes in a cabin. Not everyone goes on road trips.
Exactly.
But everybody goes to sleep. Yeah.
Could have
So
fooled
anyone. So when this guy's about, you just gotta get your wits about you. And now Nancy from the Nightmare on Elm Street series was the heroine, the female, to deal with Mr. Krueger. Remember when she set up the traps for him in part one?
like Home Alone.
It was like Home Alone. She had hammer. She had like little explosions, just ready for Freddy.
Ready for Freddy.
And you know, in movie land, you know, you begin immersed in the film as a kid. You know, you really believe this is going on around you. And when she dealt with him, and he was like, "Damn, thank you, Nancy. Now I can go to bed. I know he's dead now.
I feel safer.
Yeah, I feel safer. You dealt with it." And even though the car, you know, the car roof went over and it was Freddy's colours, and the mum got pulled back in through the little window of the door.
Yeah.
You know, it was all a dream because in part 3, Nancy was there again. You know what I mean? And she taught other kids. She taught the Dream Warriors to deal with him. She turned into a sensei now of how to deal with Freddy.
This is how you sort them out.
This is how you deal with it. You know, so no, Nancy, thank you for letting me go back to sleep, because if it weren't for you showing how you can deal with the burnt dude, the clawed dude, the evil dude, you know, things wouldn't be fine. So
It's true.
thank you, Nancy, from the Nightmare on Elm Street series.
You'd have to say thank you to Wes as well, because it was Wes' intention to make Nancy the first positive female representation in a teen horror film back in the days, and it all goes back to a conversation Wes had with his daughter Jessica. They were watching Swamp Thing, which is another Wes Craven film, and after the film, there's a bit in it where his daughter said to him, like, why does a girl always got to be the one who trips over? Like, girls ain't that clumsy. Like, you know, look at me, I'm not clumsy, daddy. And from that, he thought, yeah, you know what? Like, Hollywood portrays females as the one who's going to get caught first.
Damsel, as we were saying.
I'm gonna create a horror movie where the girl is the one that does everything, like, and that's how it all come from watching Swamp Thing with your daughter, from watching that come into I'm gonna create a film with a good lead female, and it's good. You know, like you say, Nancy's wicked.
Yes, she is. So Nancy from the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, we salute you. Our next lady, she was a kind of, not a damsel in distress, but she weren't ready for war yet.
No,
But-
not yet.
And
Definitely
the
weren't ready
new-
for that.
She weren't ready for anything. She just worked in the calf. But the news she got, nobody on this planet would be ready for this news, to tell you about your future and what happens to the world in the future. And you've got to be, part of this resistance. It's just a mad concept for anybody to take, let alone order 2 coffees, steak and eggs, and some waffles on the other table.
And she doesn't get that news until quite a bit after what happens to her, if you know what I mean. You know, she's getting chased down for a while before she realizes what it's all about. So I felt really bad for this girl, man.
But then she became a warrior in the second movie. It ended. Terminator 1 ended with her saying, "Terminator fucker," and I remember that line, and that was like, you don't give a shit from now on. You to talk aggressively to this guy. You changed. You changed, man.
Ain't there another scene after that though, with her like driving off into a sunset, but the sunset's getting darker, like as if she's going to Judgment Day sort of thing.
Like, she
right,
takes that photo that we see.
That's what it is. It's the photo. So you know, all of a sudden now, like she ain't fucking about no more, man. She's ready. From a little 19-year-old calf girl, now she's ready.
And now she's ready. And if you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Sarah Connor from the Terminator movies. Now, yes, Terminator was about Arnold Schwarzenegger and the action and the robot and so on, but it was centered around this character. And it was this character who was pivotal to it, because obviously she was the one that should have been terminated. But this robot's from the future. He's got all the technology in the world. He can see through walls, whatever. He can select what cuss word he wants to give you, but he can't kill a girl who's got no combat training or doesn't know anything about survival. But she's assisted by a dude from the future and gets away with it all. So
he didn't even survive.
Yeah, exactly. Salute
The
to
soldier
her.
dude from the future didn't even survive.
Didn't even survive the future robot who he taught her about.
That's John Connor's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reese. Yeah. So she deserves a massive big up for getting through all that, and killing it and destroy and terminating the Terminator. So
Breaking out of the psycho place for more.
yeah, she survived. So the first film, she's the Terminator, but she terminated.
The Terminator.
So as you say, and we roll into the second one in the 90s, and she was just all out. She trained, she done her pull-ups, her arms are ready. She was looking like Sonya Blade, from Mortal Kombat. She was ready. She knew the tactics. She knew how to use a tonfa. She was up for it.
She was fully trained, yeah.
Fully trained, proper warrior, a proper, carried the film, had the knowledge, and you got to salute a character like that.
Yeah, definitely, man. The way she took control when they found the dude, the Skynet dude.
Yeah,
Dude in the
she wasn't
house
rampant.
Yeah, mate.
She wasn't rampant. And then they made a TV series, didn't they? Sarah
Connor Chronicles. Yeah, Sarah Connor Chronicles. Yeah. The character Sarah Connor is
very strong
from the first film. Wicked.
Yeah, very strong positive character. With a Bon Jovi looking hairstyle in Terminator 1. Just put it back and said, I ain't ramping. I'm surprised she didn't shave it off and go, fuck it. I ain't got time to wash my hair. I've got to save the world.
Okay, bowling.
So again, Sarah Connor, old school salutes you. Now, our next hero was like, she was clever from the start, but you didn't even need to see her do anything, and you never saw her do anything, but until the last movie. But she was smart. From when you saw her in Star Wars, she was like, she didn't even know Darth Vader was her dad yet, but she's still gunning. I could tell you was here with your horrible stench. You're like, just gunning him. She says something like that. That's the first line she says to him. Gunning him. You know what I mean? Darth Vader, he's 6 foot whatever, and she just tells him he stinks. You know what I mean?
BO or something,
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
He's just fighting in the corridor or something, and she's telling him to his face.
She's brave. She gunned you back. I called him a walking carpet. Like, this thing could rip up arms of a gun dog, but she didn't care. She just gunned him. Anyone who crossed her path, she would gun, because she knew she had the force. And ladies and gentlemen, talk about Princess Leia. From time your name's Princess, you're gonna be a bit up yourself. You're gonna be a bit bougie, aren't you?
Definitely. Princess is in the name.
Yeah, but she held it up. She the force was strong. And I say, even though we didn't get to see her fight or do anything, psychologically, she just fucked people up. You know what I mean? She weren't giving up the plans.
From the first scene, you got this impression from that first scene.
Yeah, because she saved the movie. She put the plans in R2D. If that didn't happen,
the
Star Wars film wouldn't have went on.
It never,
So she already put her marker down. This is my contribution to the resistance, to the rebels. You lot deal with the rest of it. Do you know what I mean? And by the end, she kills the biggest gangster in the whole universe. She killed Jabba the Hutt. She strangled him. Oh no, a chain. She had a chain, and she just done her thing. But you're getting rid of Top Boy. But before that, in Return of the Jedi, she dressed as a bounty hunter to go to Jabba's place, and was carrying bombs. She didn't mess around. Do you know what I mean? She didn't mess around. She went to get her man back. She went to Jabba's palace and I want my fella, and I'll blow this place up if you don't bring him back. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? She didn't mess around. The plan didn't work, but she got out and still killed the dude. She still killed the top gangster. So
definitely one of the best on-screen heroines.
One of the best on-screen heroines, man. The speeder bike chase in Endor. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? She held it down. She held down a whole village of Ewoks, man. Come on, man. she said, listen, they're my brethrens. No, but I know you lot are little. You lot look like cute bears, but you're really cannibal savages. You know what I mean?
Everything.
Yeah, you want to eat everyone. Hold it down. They're my brethren, and he's gold. So just hold it down.
He's gold. They thought he was God.
Yeah, they even plaited her hair. She was so nice for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But no, Princess Leia. Wasn't it, what Star Wars film recently? There was Luke and Leia having lightsaber practice. What film was that again?
Was there? In one of the newer ones? In one of the
I think it's the last of the last
7,
three.
8,
There's a scene where they show Leia and Luke in practicing. Do you remember that scene?
I don't recall that. No, I don't recall that.
But yeah, Princess Leia. And then she eventually married Han Solo and stayed at her job as a leader of the rebels. You know what I mean? Juggled a fussy little teenager who wanted to go on the dark side. Still held it down.
Learned a bit of the Force during that time as well, I think. Apparently from her brother as well.
So big up Princess. But as you're saying, she's one of the first, big movie presence on a movie. Heroines.
Late 70s, wasn't it, man?
In the 70s, man.
In the 70s, she was there, man.
Do you know what I mean? And like, for me, she gave the character justice, and she's an icon in Hollywood. That character, Princess Leia, it's
a pop icon, man. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. For the sci-fi world. So Princess Leia, we salute you. So yes, we've come to our final female kick-ass hero in the 80s, and for now, and this order here, it's not even who's the best. This is the order we just put them in.
It's ones we like.
They're all number ones. They're all number ones here. Do you know what I mean? So yes, this character.
This one's a big one for me.
Yeah, this is a big one. Like, everybody loved this movie, and it's like, as I say, people are trying to push the female hero narrative like it's a new thing, and you're trying to do the right. It's always been there, especially with this character we're going to bring in now. But she was so kick-ass, just like all the females we've mentioned. But this one was something different,
Different, yeah.
Like Harrison Ford was saying earlier on, you could separate her from being the girl in Ghostbusters to this amazing woman in Alien.
That role.
There wasn't the same woman. Yeah. Like the woman in Ghostbusters, she was sexy, she was hot, and Ripley was just kick-ass. Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk about Ripley from the Alien movies, man.
Ripley.
And it's like, I love those movies. I love those movies.
Yeah.
And she didn't mess around. She was smart. She had the brain and the brawn. Do you know what I mean? She was ready to go in.
Definitely. Again, 1979 Alien come out, and it was always Ridley Scott's intention to keep Ripley as like the lead, even though the cast was big and there was lots of people in it. And if you think about it, her names are not topping the credits. And when you see the credits, it's got a few of the guys first, and she don't really get involved into the movie till about half an hour, 45 minutes in. But for the rest of that movie, you can see she takes over as the lead and the heroine again. And then going into Aliens, she just kills it, man. It's just, what a character.
Well, she's the only one in there with sense. All the dudes in there
it's
are just
true.
like...
Yeah, it's true. You work that out after a few 20 minutes into the film. It's like, okay, she's the only one who knows what she's doing. These other guys are just meatheads. Proper. She's a wicked character, man. Wicked character.
It's true. And after what she went through in Alien, you would think she wouldn't want to go back for Aliens.
Exactly.
But she was like, just like Nancy, she was like, look, if you guys are going in, you got to know some facts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? and she went back, because I wouldn't go back. If I went through what she went through, you'd be going back.
In hell.
When there's eggs, I just got rid of one, and you talk about eggs now.
There could be a few of them now. I go back for them
face. Not a chance.
But Ripley went in there, and she even had Vasquez. Is it Vasquez? Let's run.
Yes, Vasquez.
She's wicked.
Vasquez got involved.
Another one.
Yeah, and they kicked ass.
It shows you how good she is, though, because although her performance had already been acclaimed in the first film, it was Aliens that really gave her a worldwide recognition. It was only then that she became the third horror actress in history to be nominated for an Academy Award. That was after the girl from Exorcist and Sissy Spacek from Carrie, another two massive actors. Didn't do many films, don't remember for much, but them two roles on their own, you can see why they were nominated. And the character was also ranked in 2008 ranked in the American Film Institute the 8th best hero out of 100, and she was the second highest ranked female after Clarice Starling from Silence of the Lambs, another big female role.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Ripley's
But Ripley, you saw it action-packed.
Yeah.
Big machine gun holding.
She was a civilian as well. She weren't even one of them Marines.
No,
was
wasn't she a scientist?
Yeah, she was on the ship as like a civilian scientist support to them Marine dudes, whatever. But she kicked all of their asses.
Kicked all of their asses, man. And when she got in that big.
I love that
big
bit.
That
transporter thing. Yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah, that transporter robot.
Clicked in her Reeboks.
Yeah. And
she
just
was
went
off.
to war.
She was off
And
with the queen of the
alien species.
aliens.
Yeah. No, that's seriously Ripley's proper big. But I wasn't a fan. I must admit, wasn't a fan of Alien 3.
What one was Alien 3 again?
When they're in the prison.
Yeah, it's watchable, but it ain't great. Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of that movie. And then, but what was more powerful about her, even though she was dead, she came back for part 4.
Yeah.
You know, she said, "Nah, I ain't going out like this. Even though I'm part alien now, I'm still trying to fuck shit up for you lot." Do you know what I mean? So if any of you guys haven't seen Alien Resurrection, it kind of like brings her back, but now she's got like mutant powers.
It gets a bit weird after 2.
Yeah, still kicking ass, but with mutant powers. But her performance in the first 2 movies, Ripley is just an amazing.
Well, the
character.
first 2 Aliens are the best 2 anyway.
The first 2 movies, you know, and all these females that we've mentioned, they're just as tough as any of the females that are out now.
Exactly.
You know, say the Captain Marvel.
If not more so.
If not tougher,
more so,
you know.
Yeah, more action.
So you know, so this thing to push the narrative has always been there. We've always enjoyed female strong characters since I was a kid. Growing up in the movies, female characters have always kicked ass. As I say, with Chitara, you know, so many cartoon female characters, She-Hulk, I can go on. You know, they've all been kicking ass since I was born, and long may it continue. But if you're gonna do it these days, don't rub it in people's faces and don't make shit ones like Ray.
Don't make out it's a new thing. It's been there all this time.
It's been there, and we've enjoyed it all
Our generation.
the while.
Loved it. Yeah.
It's the same band. You still have damsels in distress now, as well as heroes. Just how it was in the 80s and the 90s. So you're not reinventing the wheel, because female strong characters have been there. You just ain't watching the right movies.
It's true.
You know what I mean? You understand?
Sure.
You just ain't been watching the right movies, my friend. Because all these ladies we've mentioned tonight have kicked motherfucking ass. Guys, we're going to continue this saga of strong female characters in movies, cartoons, and TV. But for now, I'm Mr. Lucas.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Stax.
And you've been listening to the Old School Movement podcast. Peace.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Those were the days I remember.